Okay guys, well the situation regarding the Ted Kravitz incident, Ted Kravitz gate, or shall I call it Kravitz gate? I don't know. This seems to be going on, and hopefully it will get resolved eventually because I think that Sky have got their own issues. Their sports team, and not only Ted Kravitz but the whole sports team, do I think have their favourites. You can see in some degrees there are favourites there, but obviously it's got to be sorted out because Red Bull are the champions, and Max Verstappen is the champion, and they're going to have to talk to him at some point. I think eventually it's going to have to happen. And Martin Brundle, who is of course one of the commentators on the show, he has come out in support of Ted Kravitz, full support in fact, in wake of the Red Bull's boycott of the channel in Mexico City. Dutch reporter Jack Ploege, I've said that wrong, believes Kravitz has made a scapegoat in the boycott, and his words have been taken out of context due to the edits made on the show. But Verstappen and Red Bull team members did not give interviews to the channel all weekend in Mexico after taking umbrage to the comments. Now, it says here that they're due to restart the media duties in Brazil. As Sky Sports analyst pundit Martin Brundle has spoken out in support of his longtime colleagues, saying that speaking face-to-face will be the way to settle any differences. He says in his tweet here, "For avoidance of any doubt, my friend and colleague for the past 26 years has my full support. Face-to-face dialogue is the only way to sort out issues and disputes in the relentless crucible of the F1 paddock. We all have opinions and different jobs to do. That's life." I would say that it's one of those things. You have an opinion on it one way or the other. Some people say it's taken out of context. Some people say that actually he did mean what he said, and it was not a nice thing to say, and that Red Bull are right. So there are two sides to it, obviously, and it can be difficult to get the actual the right side of it. A lot of people, of course, are saying that Red Bull are getting increasingly angry at certain comments that are being made, and that Martin Brundle and Ted Kravitz and all of the others have had digs at Red Bull in the past and stuff like that, and they're getting fed up with it. But I think that's sport. When you are one of the big teams, a lot of people give you stick, and when you're one of the, it's like any sportsman. When you're a really successful sportsman, you get a lot of stick, and Lewis Hamilton's had it in the past, perhaps not to the same degree, but we'll just have to wait and see how it goes on. Let me know down in the comments, of course, what your thoughts are, whether you believe that they should kind of just make it up and talk about it together face to face and sort out the problems. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. He said it had nothing to do with this weekend, but this year has been a constant, kind of daily being disrespectful, especially one particular person, and it's enough. I don't accept it, Verstappen said of Sky's coverage after the race in Mexico. You can't live in the past, you just have to move on. Social media is a very toxic place, and if you're constantly being like that on TV, you make it only worse instead of trying to make it better. You keep disrespecting me, and at one point I'm not tolerating it anymore. That's why I decided to stop answering them. Now, of course, I don't know if it's in defence or not, but Lewis Hamilton has come out to say that he thinks that social media is very toxic, and that people should really try to not spend so much time on social media. And I think it can be a toxic environment. They're absolutely right. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, whether you support Sky and say that Red Bull are just being a bit oversensitive, or whether you support Red Bull and say that Sky are being disrespectful. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below.